How did Paul Walker's final moments unfold in that fateful crash? The tragic accident of the Fast and Furious star left millions heartbroken and raised countless questions. In this video, we delve into the horrifying final moments of Paul Walker. We'll explore the facts and theories surrounding the event and cover what really happened that day. Buckle up as we unravel the heart-wrenching details of his last moments. If you want to stay updated on similar stories and hear more about your favorite stars, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Paul Walker was born on September 12, 1973 in Glendale, California, to a fashion model mother and a sewer contractor father. His career in front of the camera began early when he appeared in a Pampers commercial as a toddler. Throughout his childhood, he acted in TV series like Charles in Charge and Who's the Boss, before landing a role in the film Monster in the Closet in 1986. Paul was interested in marine biology and even studied it in college, but acting ultimately won him over. His breakout came with the Fast and the Furious franchise, where he played undercover cop Brian O'Connor. This role brought him international fame. Beyond acting, Paul was passionate about surfing and used his earnings to fund his surfing trips. He was also known for his humanitarian efforts, establishing Reach Out Worldwide to help disaster-stricken regions. Tragically, he died in a car accident in 2013 while filming Furious 7. Influenced by his motorcycle-loving dad, Paul Walker's passion for vehicles started with dirt bikes and ATVs. However, his grandfather George's captivating racing tales ignited Paul's fascination with cars. Initially, he leaned towards muscle cars and even attempted modifying them. But an unfortunate incident saw him totaling his dad's Chevy near their home. His interests later evolved to include Japanese and European sports cars like GTRs and M3s. Among the Walker siblings, Paul was the only one to pursue acting into adulthood. His natural confidence during auditions and laid-back demeanor, which often suggested he'd rather be surfing, impressed casting directors. Paul Walker's acting career surged during the 90s, with appearances in TV shows like Charles in Charge, Who's the Boss, and The Young and the Restless. His breakthrough came in the late 90s with notable roles in She's All That and Varsity Blues. In 2000, he landed a key role in The Skulls, directed by Rob Cohen. Paul and Rob quickly formed a strong connection on set, with Cohen appreciating Paul's attitude and work ethic. Preparing for his next major role, Paul dove into the underground street racing scene, attending late-night meets to observe street racers and understand their world. These experiences marked Paul's initial steps into car tuning, a passion he thoroughly enjoyed. Just before the film's release, its title was changed to The Fast and the Furious, propelling Paul into a franchise that defined his career. Universal Pictures took a big gamble by investing $38 million in a car movie with no well-known actors, but The Fast and the Furious exceeded expectations, earning $207 million globally on that budget. The franchise soared even higher with the 2009 sequel, Fast and Furious, which grossed $360 million and cemented its place among other blockbuster series like Harry Potter, The Hunger Games, and Marvel movies. Despite his success, Paul Walker remained grounded. Vin Diesel mentioned that while some actors dislike being identified with their roles, Paul embraced it. A car enthusiast, by 2013, he had a collection of around 30 cars, some of which he co-owned with his friend Roger Roders. Paul preferred a low-profile life away from the spotlight, focusing on his love for speed and adventure. On November 30th, 2013, Paul Walker was looking forward to a day at home with his family. He had planned to buy a Christmas tree and decorate it with his mother, Cheryl, and his daughter, Meadow, who had recently moved in with him after being raised in Hawaii by her mother. Paul was adjusting to his new role as a full-time dad. However, he ended up rushing out the door to attend a charity event for victims of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines. Paul, a noted philanthropist, had founded a disaster relief charity called Reach Out Worldwide, inspired by the aftermath of the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. Around 3:25 p.m. on November 30th, 2013, Paul Walker and his friend Roger Roders left a charity event and approached a red 2005 Porsche Carrera GT. Excited, Paul suggested, "Hey, let's go for a drive." Roger took the driver's seat while Paul sat in the passenger seat. The Porsche Carrera GT was known for its powerful engine and tricky handling. Unfortunately, just a few hundred yards from the shop, Roger lost control of the car while traveling at around 100 miles per hour. Despite both men wearing seat belts, the car slammed into a curb, skidded into a tree, and then hit a light post before spinning and hitting another tree. The force of the collision and subsequent fire tragically claimed both their lives. The vehicle suddenly erupted in flames. Those attending the charity event, including Roger's 8-year-old son, immediately rushed towards the scene. The young boy leaped over a fence and sprinted towards the wreck, desperate to rescue his father. Paul Walker's friend Antonio Holmes described it as one of the most horrifying crash scenes Hollywood had ever witnessed. He recounted how the car was engulfed in flames, leaving them helpless. Paul and Roger were trapped. Employees and friends frantically tried to assist. We all tried. We used several fire extinguishers. We really tried, but tragically, it was too late. The flames were too intense, forcing them to step back and helplessly watch Paul Walker's tragic demise. Sadly, there was nothing they could do. Paul passed away at the age of 40. The first firefighters arrived within 3 minutes of the 911 call, alerting them to the crash. Upon seeing the devastating scene, they quickly realized there were no survivors. The recordings from their call to the dispatch center included one of the first updates from the scene. We have confirmed 2 fatalities, and labeling the victims as DOA, meaning dead on arrival. The responder on the scene also informed dispatch that it was a code-N incident, indicating a significant event that needed careful handling due to its potential news impact. Tragically, Paul's body was found in a pugilistic stance, a term used to describe a position where the body's muscles contract from intense heat, pulling the limbs into a posture resembling a boxer's defensive stance. This phenomenon, as explained by medical professionals, occurs when high temperatures cause muscle stiffening and shortening. The horrific burn injuries left his skin so charred that he could only be identified through dental records, and his organs were too damaged for tissue donation. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department investigated the crash and found that the car's speed played a crucial role. Initially, they estimated the Porsche was moving between 80 and 93 miles per hour, but a subsequent coroner's report confirmed the speed was closer to 100 miles per hour, far exceeding the local speed limit of 45 miles per hour. However, another factor, suggested by his family and stunt experts, was that road bumps might have contributed to the accident. Accident reconstruction specialists noted that hitting reflective plastic markers at high speeds could cause a car to lose traction, akin to driving a sports car on ice. In the end, the official report stated, for an unknown reason, the driver lost control of the vehicle, and it partially spun around, moving in a southeasterly direction. The vehicle then struck a sidewalk, with the driver's side hitting a tree and then a light post. The impact of these collisions caused the vehicle to spin 180 degrees, continuing to move eastward. The passenger side then collided with a tree, and the vehicle erupted into flames. In 2015, Paul Walker's daughter Mado filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Porsche, alleging that design flaws in the car led to her father's death. She claimed that her father survived for 1 minute and 20 seconds after the crash but was trapped by his seatbelt. The lawsuit asserted that the fire started a minute after the crash, indicating that Paul could have escaped. However, the seatbelt was so forceful that it broke his ribs and pelvis, preventing his escape. The lawsuit also highlighted that the car lacked proper door reinforcements and didn't use fuel lines designed to prevent fires during crashes. Mado Walker's lawyer Jeff Millam stated, "The bottom line is that the Porsche Carrera GT is a dangerous car. It doesn't belong on the street, and we shouldn't be without Paul Walker or his friend Roger Roders." Porsche defended itself, stating that Paul knowingly and voluntarily accepted all risks and dangers associated with using the 2005 Carrera GT. A thorough investigation concluded that worn-out tires and unsafe speed were the primary factors in the collision, with at least 2 of the car's tires being over 9 years old. Both airbags deployed correctly, and no traces of alcohol or drugs were found. The lay coroner determined the cause of death to be a combination of traumatic and thermal injuries. Paul Walker's autopsy revealed fractures in his left jawbone, collarbone, pelvis, ribs, and spine. Tragically, soot in his windpipe indicated he was still breathing as the fire engulfed him. Roger Roders died instantly from severe blunt trauma to the head, neck, and chest, with the impact so intense that it fractured the top of his skull, exposing his brain. Porsche asserted that the car had been abused, altered, misused, and improperly maintained. 4 years after the accident, Paul's daughter, who was 15 when he died, settled her lawsuit against Porsche for $10.1 million. The crash site quickly became a place for grieving fans to lead tributes to the late actor. While the area where the tragedy happened is popular among street racers, police confirmed there was no evidence of a second car involved in the crash. When Paul Walker passed away, most of the filming for Furious 7 had been completed, but his death left many wondering how the movie would proceed. In the final version, released in April 2015, they used archived footage and outtakes, while his brothers Cody and Caleb helped by acting in some scenes, later altered with CGI to feature Paul's face. The film's ending was changed, with the last scenes showing Brian and Dominic Toretto racing one last time before Brian drives off. Furious 7 shattered box office records, earning over $1.5 billion worldwide. We hope you found this story enlightening. If you did, please hit the like button, comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing content. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.